Breaking news! What if I told you that behind Lamar Jackson's blockbuster 5-year $260 million deal with the Baltimore Ravens in 2023, there was a storm brewing in the shadows of the NFL? A storm that some insiders believe points directly to collusion, secret meetings, and quiet directives that shape the future of not just Lamar's contract, but the entire quarterback market. And what if this entire scenario almost ended with Lamar not wearing purple and black at all? Stick around, because this one is going to shake things up. But before we move on, make sure you hit that like button if you're a true Ravens fan. It's always amazing to see fans of all ages supporting this team. And if you feel like it, comment, "Go Ravens," right now so we can show the league how strong this flock flies. Let's get into it. The NFL world was stunned when Deshaun Watson secured a 5-year $230 million fully guaranteed contract with the Cleveland Browns back in 2022. That deal not only reset expectations but sent shockwaves through front offices across the league. And according to a bombshell NFL document obtained by Pablo Torre, those shockwaves didn't stop at discomfort, they triggered direct action. Just days after Watson's deal was signed, the NFL's Management Council, reportedly with the blessing of Commissioner Roger Goodell, allegedly advised all 32 NFL clubs to scale back on fully guaranteed contracts during the March 2022 owners' meetings. Now here's where things get interesting for Ravens fans. In 2023, Lamar Jackson entered negotiations with a clear and emphatic request, a fully guaranteed contract. He represented himself, standing firm in his demand, "I'm going to continue to request a fully guaranteed contract. I understand y'all don't, and that's fine." Those words, straight from the document, suggest a determined Lamar going head-to-head not just with Baltimore's front office, but against an entire league's new quiet consensus. The implications? Despite being an MVP, despite redefining what a quarterback can be, Lamar's market was shockingly quiet. The Ravens had placed a non-exclusive franchise tag on him, making him available to negotiate with any team, but no one bit. Only a few teams even expressed mild interest before the tag. And once the Ravens placed that tag, no one approached Lamar directly. Not one team offered a deal. Not one owner stepped up. Was it truly his injury history? Was it the modest stats from the prior 2 seasons? Or was the league collectively holding the line, steering away from fully guaranteed contracts, just as had been encouraged by the NFL higher-ups? And think about this, even Eric DeCosta, the Ravens GM, was preparing for a draft without Lamar Jackson. He truly believed Jackson would not be returning. It wasn't until the eve of the draft that he extended one last offer, a deal that Lamar shockingly accepted almost immediately. That offer? 5 years, $260 million, $185 million guaranteed. Not fully guaranteed. Not what Lamar initially demanded. But it kept him in Baltimore. And it may have saved the franchise. But even that process had its bizarre moments. According to the same document, Lamar at one point told DeCosta he couldn't negotiate because his phone microphone wasn't working. That's right. A former MVP, negotiating the most important contract of his life, delayed talks because of a broken mic. Was it a legit issue? Was it a stall tactic? Did Lamar, without an agent, simply not have the support or strategy to navigate such high-stakes talks? Now let's talk about the real consequence of that quiet offseason. Baltimore came out lucky, very lucky. No team swooped in with a Watson-style deal. No franchise shattered the Ravens' offer sheet. That silence kept Lamar in Maryland. But can Baltimore afford to rely on luck again? Because here's the twist. This coming offseason, it's happening again. Lamar Jackson is reportedly on track for a new extension discussion. And this time, the Ravens won't be able to use injury doubts or limited production as leverage. He's coming off the best season of his career, 41 total touchdowns, over 4,000 passing yards, nearly 1,000 on the ground, and just 4 interceptions. The man is at the peak of his powers. So what should the Ravens do? How do they structure a contract that rewards Lamar fairly but protects the team from cap hell? Could they take a page out of the Bills' playbook with Josh Allen's 6-year $330 million deal? If so, we might be looking at something like 6 years $335 million with $255 million guaranteed. Big numbers, but if anyone's earned it, it's Lamar Jackson. And now I turn it over to you. If you were in Eric DeCosta's chair, how much would you offer Lamar Jackson this offseason? Would you go fully guaranteed? Or structure it with incentives and protection? What's the right move for the Ravens' future? Let's keep going. Everything about this saga leads us to one unavoidable truth. The Baltimore Ravens are standing at a crossroads with Lamar Jackson, and this next move could define the franchise for the next decade. Because unlike 2023, there's no room for doubt this time. There's no narrative of he needs to prove himself, no cloud of consecutive injuries. Lamar answered every question in 2024 with a dominant MVP-caliber campaign, and now, he's holding all the leverage. Let's remember how close this team came to disaster. Eric DeCosta had a draft board ready without Lamar's name on it. The assumption, right up until the final hours before the 2023 draft, was that Jackson would no longer be in Baltimore. The franchise tag, the lack of a true market, and perhaps even a little league-wide compliance with Goodell's unofficial no guarantees memo all kept Lamar in purple. But it was a razor-thin margin. Fast forward to now, and things are entirely different. The numbers Lamar put up this past season are not just impressive, they're historical. Over 4,000 yards passing, nearly 1,000 yards rushing, just 4 interceptions, 41 touchdowns. This is not just a dual-threat quarterback. This is a once-in-a-generation player in full command of his game and his locker room. The margin for hesitation is gone. If Baltimore plays coy or tries to lowball him again, there will be teams, desperate ones, hungry ones, lining up to offer everything Lamar wants and more. And DeCosta knows that. The Ravens can't afford to franchise tag him again and play chicken with other teams. That gamble almost cost them before. This time, if Lamar tests the waters, he might not come back. That's why every signal from inside the building suggests urgency. They want to get ahead of it. They want to lock him down before the numbers climb any higher. Before another Watson-style deal hits the books and resets the market once again. So what does a winning contract look like? Start with the blueprint, Buffalo's deal with Josh Allen. 6 years, $330 million, $250 million guaranteed. That works out to about $55 million per year. If Baltimore wants to sweeten the deal just enough to keep Lamar happy without fully guaranteeing it, they could push it to $335 million over 6 years. Give him around $255 million guaranteed, and build in performance escalators and injury protections. It's not just about money, it's about respect. It's about acknowledging the player he is now and the leader he's become. And don't forget, Lamar represents himself. Every offer, every number, every clause hits him directly. There's no buffer. No agent to cushion the language or reframe a lowball deal. If DeCosta sends an offer that feels disrespectful, it won't just stall negotiations, it could fracture the trust they only just rebuilt. Lamar already walked that line once. He's not likely to walk it again without serious commitment from the team. The risk of getting this wrong isn't just losing your star quarterback, it's losing your identity. The Ravens have built this team around Lamar's unique skill set. The playbook, the offensive line investments, the wide receiver room, they all orbit around what Lamar brings. Strip him out of that equation, and you don't just need a new QB. You need a whole new direction. But the flip side? Get it right, and you lock in a player entering his absolute prime with MVP talent, elite leadership, and a chip on his shoulder the size of M/T Bank Stadium. You keep the core intact. You keep the Ravens relevant, feared, and explosive. So now the question turns back to you, Ravens flock. Is Baltimore finally ready to pay Lamar Jackson what he's worth? Is Eric DeCosta going to put the past behind and seal the deal the right way this time? Or are we heading for another offseason of drama, delays, and dangerous brinkmanship? Let me know in the comments. And if you made it this far, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for non-stop Ravens coverage, and check out the other videos on your screen right now for everything you need to know about the flock. See you next time.